Apparently, I am live. However, I don't know how many people are going to be watching me yet. Because we were slightly delayed tonight in getting home. We were asked out for dinner, last minute sort of thing. So we're just in the door now. There's 2 people here. I don't know how many more are going to turn up. I'm sure some will filter in before 10 o'clock anyway. But sure, we'll party on. We do hope that you're all keeping well out there. Don't forget to hit the old thumbs up button if you've just joined the chat. White Sapphire, of course, how did I know that you would be the first to come into the chat this evening? Where have I been hiding? Roundy Mounty. What the? Like, say, look, you know what? Fuck the lawyers. I got called out for dinner at the last minute by a friend of mine, and it's just as well I went because it turns out that he just became engaged to his long-term partner today. So, delighted for him, and we had a lovely meal, and it was a very nice evening. She's been waiting for a long time for him to manage to get down on one knee. He doesn't do anything in a hurry, and obviously that's shot. But yeah, he's engaged now, so it's great. I hope you're all keeping well. Roundy Mounty, our man with the spanner in the chat. If you misbehave, Roundy will be the one that's going to give you a root in the hole. So don't mess with Roundy. If you have those joined, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. I know that White Sapphire has done it, and obviously Roundy Mounty has hit the thumbs up button as well because he's the man with the spanner. Happy days. We had a nice pork roast. Oh, lovely. And then even got in an episode of The Walking Dead. Oh, very good. Very good. I heard that's good. All right. I haven't seen it yet. Mark E. Mark E is a name I haven't heard before. And did you know the long wave radio Luxembourg transmitter is to close the end of this year? I did. I read that the other day, Mark. And of course, it's unwelcome to news, but inevitable. A 2 megawatt transmitter. Fucking, I think it was 5 megawatt hour is what they're using down there. 5 megawatt hours. Now, I'm paying 35 cents a unit for electricity or something that 35 or 30 or 35 cents a unit. So you just work that out per hour, how much it's costing them to keep that bastard on the air. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. Someone's going to do the maths. Roundy Mounty's an electrician. He'll do the maths on that. Roundy, that's a little job. You work out how much that'll be at 30 cents a unit. Michael Dranfield is in the comments tonight. Michael, I'm with you tonight. I'm with you too, Michael. Good man. And it's great to have you in the chat. Absolutely. A clout on the nut with his big... Roundy, tis, and Radio 4 has its problems as well. Well, now they've been saying that it's Radio 4 was, that they were doing work on the mast again or something down there. How true that is. But, I mean, you can imagine, no matter how safe or unsafe, whatever we think about this stuff is all going to go in the bin the next 10 years anyway. Be sure of that. I was speaking to a man in the know, very much in the know, about broadcasting in Ireland and the FM band in particular. And he said to me, and it's bad news for this man, but he said to me, he says, John, the next 10 years we'll see the end of FM in Ireland. And I think he's right, because the majority, you see this device here, everything's in that. Young people don't go out and buy cameras these days. They don't buy radios. They don't buy record players. They don't buy Walkmans. They don't buy any of this shit. They just buy one of these, and everything they want is on it. So if you think having a big 500 kilowatt mast up in the air is going to be of any advantage to you, it's not. This is the future. I'm not saying it's right. It's the future. Tiz and Radio 4 has had its problem. Oh yeah, I read that, yeah. Good evening, the chipmunk is in the chat. But I think it's safe for another bit. I learned today that Alu is still broadcasting the time signal for the time signal. Yeah, and I made inquiries about that because I thought, with a loo. What a massive signal that was. How much more could it cost them to modulate that signal? Well, apparently, 75% of the power went into modulating that signal, and that's why it made sense for them to stop doing that. It's a strange situation, but I don't know. Now, I'm sure if they had upgraded or modernised the transmitters, these new snazzy transmitters, but apparently it didn't make sense. Roundy says even 10 kilowatt at 80% efficiency is going to run at about 30k plus a year. Right, so you can see the problem with 2 megawatts. 2 megawatts is going to be what? What's that, 20 times? No, it's more even than 10 kilowatts. Yeah, radio teleswitches are all tuned to 198, 600k. It's a lot of money in electricity. Yeah, and you imagine these teleswitches are going to go in the bin the next couple of years as well. I mean, the smart meter rollout was well underway in the UK, and was it EIRP? Not necessarily the same as input power. No, it's not the same as input power. So it could be less than that, but still, it's going to be. So even say if it's 500 kilowatt input, it's still an expensive thing to have switched on. I wouldn't want to be running it here in the shed anyway. The smart meters aren't essential though, not mandatory. You'd think that. Well, I'm in Ireland, things are a bit different here. But the man slipped over the gate and stuck mine in when I was on my holidays. Yeah, because the meter's at the back of the house here. Something just fell over at the back of the shed, but we won't worry about it. I always had something leaning up against the shed. So how's the chipmunk keeping? I seen you in the. I was in the Big Clive live stream last night. I was there for about 40 minutes, I think, watching it. It's interesting. Your man, Joanne, is a character for sure. Here in the UK, though, they asked me when they could come fit one. I told them the 32nd of Noah. Yeah, exactly. You can go on a non-participation list, but they're gonna hold you down and stick it into you eventually. Hey, sure is funny, alright. Now that was interesting, but I found something interesting that Clive said. He said that my channel had been mentioned, and I think he said it was on Thursday's live stream. But I went looking for Thursday's live stream. I couldn't find any live stream on Thursday, so I don't know. Because I'd like to know what was said about me. I would like to watch it, but maybe that was on some other platform. If you have just joined the chat, do hit the thumbs up button. I'm going to keep drilling that into you. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button now. We've only made our quota when there's more thumbs up than viewers. Then we know we're winning. My meter is locked up in a cabinet on the back wall of my garage. The buggers aren't swapping mine in a hurry. They'll burst open the lock. They won't let that get in their way. It was me rounding money. It's a Patreon only stream. Sorry, I mentioned you doing waffles with Amber. Oh, I see. I'm sure it was all good things that were said about me anyway. I'm just a nosy git, don't mind me. I'm only drinking water for now because I had a couple of cocktails with the dinner. For those of you who missed, I was called out for a meal at short notice. That's why the live stream is a little bit late kicking off tonight. But a friend of mine got engaged today after a very, very long time. So we're a little bit late kicking off today because we had aimed for 9 o'clock, and I think the later start is going to be better. So as I did the poll last week and asked you all, because I had found that the 8 o'clock starts were a little bit quiet for the first hour anyway. So I had said, I think the 4 options were 8, half 8, just to be an awkward bastard, 9 and 10. And an overwhelming majority for 9 o'clock, which I think makes sense because it's after the heartbeat. Oh no, heartbeat's gone, isn't it? 12 years. Anyway, that's the story why we're a bit late tonight. Waffle. I can't call it waffle. I've been contacted by Big Clive Live's legal team, and he said that the waffle is actually a registered trademark, and that legal proceedings will follow should we mention the word waffle again. So we're going to call them OJNOJ. Yeah, but there's nothing flying around tonight for me to be incinerating anyway. Big Clive would be fine with that. Let's see, is it time for a waffle? I don't know. Oh, you know what, I need to wind this thing. That's the problem with pocket watches. If you don't wind them, they don't work. And there's something very sad about an unwound pocket watch. Chipmunks meters on the inside. Not getting into it. Don't forget to undo that big dirty link you have across it when they do come in. It is 4 minutes past 10. No, it's not. That clock's gone 2 minutes fast. We'll have to attend to that too. 10 o'clock. According to Google, it's just gone 3 minutes past 10. That's 11. 10. Wonderful. Gaz Young in his Gaz has already caused disconsternation in the chat, but we will allow it. We're free speech here. I don't know how it's held for some reason. Each to their own. Welcome aboard, Gaz. Anyway, your first comment has already caused controversy in the chat. Clive's a pillock, and so are his choice of moronic mods. Oh dear. 3 past. We'll leave that one to you, JJ. Yeah, well, you know. Whatever. Gaz has. Right, okay. We'll forget about that. Right. Well, you can keep that to the Big Clive chat, I'm sure as well. Lads. Another night, another dollar. Alright? Shots fired, says Roundy. Roundy, you weren't quick to act there, though. You know what I mean? You let me down. Anyway, if you have just joined the chat, do hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up now. 14 thumbs up, 22 viewers. That's not good enough. I like to have more thumbs up than viewers because it just looks weird. Chipmunk is all around me. I see how I feel after the first pint of water, and then I might get a can of beer. There might be a can of Tennent's rolling around the back of the van somewhere. I went up the north and I bought 16 cans of Tennent's. I don't know. It's so cheap up there, they're nearly giving it away for free. But then my brother-in-law turned up here one night because there was a mouse in his house and he couldn't sleep. And of course, all them cans got decimated and there was carnage, as there usually does. Cowbell's wind chimes will be going every 5 minutes. Yeah, they could be alright. So that's the crack. We've 21 viewers and 21 likes. Oh, we're on the precipice already. We're on the precipice. 20. No, it's all fucked up again. Trooper Halloween beer here. Trooper. Now, am I wrong in saying that Trooper was that Iron Maiden's beer that they brought out? 21. Someone just couldn't hack that. Cronenberg is like that here. 10 quid at Tesco, which gives our current currency strength. Like 5 cents in euro terms. Yes, Iron Maiden. Yeah, no, I can remember years ago they brought out their own tackle. Like, yeah. 15 cans, that is. Oh. Yeah, no, the way the steering is going at the minute, not to upset any of my UK viewers, and not to get political here, because as you know, I'm strictly non-political. I wouldn't mind. See here, this is what happens when I'm not paying attention. I was in such a hurry to get out here and start to chat and get it going that I forgot to put that up. So, hi everyone. I always forget to click the little arrow. That my trip to Galborn in 2 weeks may very well be free because the euro to sterling will be that. The euro will be so strong against the sterling. I think that I have this vision of people giving me money when I go to Galborn to buy radios and things. Might be a bad time to buy the old BVWS membership. 25 watching, 21 likes. Come on, like and hit the thumbs up button. Chipmunk wouldn't sell around the money here. They usually sell at 30% discount, like Aldi. There was literally nothing else I need, bar the usual selection of washers and hooks. I get them wherever they're in. Yeah, so do I. But what did I buy in Lidl's yesterday, actually? Oh yeah, they had some of these magnetic tool holders. I have a couple of them here, but I bought a few for the back shed, hang spanners and stuff on, and a couple of those the magnetic trays for throwing the nuts and bolts in when you're walking. Very useful. So I always lose the nuts and bolts and shit. We have TV repair royalty in the chat in the shape of Trev. Trev, anyone who hasn't checked out Trev's channel, click on his do for thing after the live, obviously, and have a look at Trevor's stuff. Some was very interesting indeed. Trevor, good to have you on board, pal. Very, very good to have you on board. Thanks for tuning in. You're late, but I'm later because it should have been on at 9 and it was closer to 10 to 10 by the time I pushed the button. Where is this that has opened up a section now for discount tools, battery drills down from 60 the odd 20 quid, for example? Where is this? Parkside tools are good. Lidl in yacht. I'll drive all the way to the Rebel County for a screw gun. And the Carol's in the chat. How are you, Enda? Welcome aboard. 27 viewers, 23 likes. If you have not hit that thumbs up button, please do so now. We must get that like to viewers ratio backwards. Tell me what you want and I'll get it for you. Well, I don't think there's anything I need that urgently shipped up from Cork. I'm squinting at this screen. What I need to do is I need to get a bigger screen. I've got a 24-inch monitor here behind the camera, which lines up pretty well with the comments in the camera. So it actually, it's like Holly and Phil on this morning. I'm able to look like I'm really engaged, but I'm just reading the shit off the camera. Of course, Holly and Phil are going to be history soon enough. And good luck to them. We'll all miss them very much. Batteries are missing. I have noticed in a little near where I work and walk to on the break, they have 1 or 2 cages with discount stuff in them, or like not that interesting yet though. Lidl used to do a pop-up shop in Nice, but could never find out how or when will be open. A few times I found it by accident. Got some great deals. Yeah. Because of course you do notice in Lidl's that particularly lately they had a socket set in a little red box. No, I didn't bother buying because there was no socket there. But everyone was opening the set and nicking the sockets out. So I have to sell that the remainder somewhere cheap. It was not got the discount sticker. It shouldn't be. Yeah, no, notice that too, alright. But don't forget, you can always peel the sticker off and stick it on something you want. You never know. looks at socket set in red box on shelf. Have you opened it yet? I'd never do a thing like that, Chipmunk. Of course you wouldn't. You do that and it won't scan. They're cute that way. Won't scan when it's in me jacket. Yeah, good. It's complete. Stuff will be quarter the price. Good. 27 people watching, 23 thumbs up. There's still something not quite right here. Now, of course, I have not checked in the studio app to see how many people are disliking this live stream. Although I must say, overall, people are very good. I get very few dislikes on my channel. The average like to dislike percentage ratio on my channel is 99.2%, which apparently is excellent. So either people fall asleep before they manage to get to turn off the hit the thumbs down button, or people just I don't know. But yeah, apparently it's very good. Chat has stopped showing messages, Trevor. Oh no. Is that true? Can anyone else confirm that mine is still okay? Okay. Trevor, might be, I don't know what your internet connectivity is like up there. Trevor, if you can reload your chat, that's what the people are telling me here. Select live chat as well. Live will be good for you. Yeah, if you go into the top of the chat, you'll see top chat. Do that, but press live chat. If you click on that, you'll see live chat. Then you should be... Although I do notice on my own phone here, and what I do is when I'm running the live now, I have my phone running as well. So it's sort of like a monitor thing that I'm watching myself, so I can see if the messages and stuff are coming through. Don't mind me, someone just texted me about a Zetter tractor. Now, let me get back to the business end of things here. Kev B, I seen that the Sony advertised on the UK Vintage Radio Forum. Yeah, I actually have one of those here. And I have a plastic one as a donor set. Which is something we'll get around to eventually. I haven't got the drive in me. I haven't got the time for a start, but I haven't got the drive either. Just to be burying myself into television at the minute because I've so much stuff half taken apart in half. And I have stuff here for sale that isn't selling, and I have a pain in the arse. But you know yourself, but the time is the big thing. Did you get started out, Trevor? You did. Got it back. Sorry, I'm just running back up through the screen here. I allowed myself to become a little bit distracted there for a second. Bob Anderson was at a TV swap meet. Some really lovely set, like bits of furniture from the 50s, 60s. Yeah, some of that stuff was lovely. It was yourself, Kevin, that posted there. Ah, yeah. We had a small Murphy set in the workshop in the late 80s. All valve set. But it had such a nice tone. Yeah. Might be in something like the Murphy that I did here a few weeks ago that Trevor donated to me some time ago. the V330, which is working really well. Of course, I forgot to put the screen and can back in place, so cover, so I need to take the back off it again someday soon. It was a bit smaller than that one. Alright. Yeah. They got a bit stupid in the 80s, alright. I've seen a few of them. They actually did one or two of them here. There was an Armende set I seen a couple of years ago in a shop in town. And it was a ridiculous thing altogether. I like that. Nothing inside the cabinet. It was of the American style, you know. Joe King is here. Went to Aldi to get eggs and left with a long shaft screwdriver. So, yeah, I also left with a set of long shaft. One of these ones. Joe. Super. These things were the length of coffins. Those were ridiculous, yeah. Did you get the eggs? No, you probably left the eggs behind. Oh man, Johnny, how are you keeping, John? I hope you're well. Judy's watching too, so there's more people watching than I think. Oh, very good. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. We have this thing here about having more thumbs up than viewers. You know, it's an upside down sort of backwards word. So do hit the thumbs up button. And I'm amazed, no one ever thinks to hit the thumbs up button until I say it. Because when I say it, then the thing goes, then you get another 3 or 4, you know. Paddy Ward is here too. Patrick Bourne wants to know how we can fix it. I don't know, Patrick. I've missed something, haven't I? Not for the first time. I was spraying some transformer shrouds earlier today. Rover Cashmere Gold seems to be a good match for the Leak Champagne colour. Oh, that's interesting to know because I have a Leak amplifier here. It's a bit stabby looking. It's getting a bit cold for spraying now though. Yeah, bang it in the oven at 50 degrees. Oh, and here's a top OJNOJ tip of the week. If you're spraying something with a rattle can, boil the kettle, fill it into a pot or something, and stick the tin into the pot for a few minutes to warm up the paint in the rattle can slightly. You'll be amazed at the difference. John Joe top tip of the week. Right, there first. We noticed on board.ie people looking for someone to repair CRT sets. Jesus, the best of luck to them. Post the link roundy, and of course you can OK your own link. Yeah, little airbrushing kit. Yeah. Well, how are we all keeping tonight, lads? I hope everyone is keeping well. We've 32 viewers in the chat. The most we've ever had at one concurrent live was 42. So on all the Sundays, that's why tonight, even though it was out, that I still wanted to get it out live out. And we've been doing quite well so far. We're doing quite well. I'm very impressed with the amount of people that are tuning in. It's very interesting indeed. If you have those join me, we are here live in the shed. Sunday night lives are becoming a bit of a thing here now, to be fair, and it's a good thing too. It's going along quite nicely now. I better not click on that link or I'll go off. Later. So, items of interest. Roundy's getting one. Roundy's going to do a bit of spray paint, so. Of course, now I must inform you first and foremost, that there will not be a live stream Sunday week, because this time Sunday week I will be sitting in Holyhead waiting to get on the big boat to come home from the Goblin. And I'm looking forward to going to the Goblin. How many people here in the chat are going to Goblin Sunday week? SB says maybe Saturday night would be better as most people can stay up later. Certainly better for me. Well, we've gone into this, SB, and it turns out that Saturday nights aren't good for a few reasons. We've done a few Saturday night live streams and they've been shit. A couple of reasons. There's other YouTubers who do lives on Saturday nights. People are out. We've done a couple of Saturday nights here and the response has been very poor. So we have found that Friday night, Saturday night, we haven't done a Friday night, but I'm not actually around on a Friday night at the minute. So Sundays seem to be the best compromise. So it's going to stick with Sunday for now, actually, for a while. But after Christmas, I won't be available on Sundays anymore. So they are going to move after Christmas. Sunday night live isn't going to be a permanent thing. Unless we find some other gainful employment in the meantime, because I'll be switching on to Sundays instead of Saturdays for work. So it could become a Saturday night live, or maybe a Friday night, or Thursday, or something. But it's just the way it works out at the minute, you know. Yeah, so it's Sunday for the minute. And even Sunday afternoon clashes with a few others as well. 12-hour marathon on Christmas Day. Well, actually, Round, you have it wrong. It's going to be Christmas Eve is the 12-hour marathon. Christmas Day, it's going to be a live from the shed here, but it's just going to be the camera pointing at a radio tuned to Radio 4 on long wave. The big trouble with Saturday is Big Clive, of course. Yes, obviously, I will have to dispose of Big Clive at some stage in the future. It'll be sad, and we'll be upset, but we'll move on. And Saturday night OJNOJ will be a wonderful success. It was quite interesting in the chat last. I'd love to know what he was saying about me in on the Patreon live the other night. Though I am sure it was all good. As we say, we can't call them muffins anymore. I'm going to be silly. We'll have to think of another name. I'm just kind of. We're from Ireland here. We'll just call them fireballs. Send Roundy to sort him out with his big spanner. Roundy at sort of. Jesus, no. Wait, hold on. Where's this going? No. We can't. No, the chat has degenerated into a total mess. It's like the last days of the Roman Empire. Send him a transformerless radio with a polarity reverse. And now covered on the screens. Oh, that's very nice. A front on Saturday if you're a sadist. What is the start? Here's a question for you. Now, I don't watch. Oh, by the way, just before I say anyone, 27 viewers, 28 likes. We're in the golden zone now. Right, now we can continue. Solomon Gamara Bigger. Yes, I have heard. I was reading comments last night. I was watching the Big Clive Live stream about Fran and about people becoming very disillusioned with Fran and the way that she is moving in her live streams and videos and whatever. So, what is the story? Bro Adam, by the way, comments that never been to Galborn. It's raining here like mad. I don't know if you can hear that on the camera, but it's cat. So you have to be a British Vintage Wireless Society member to attend. My understanding is, yes, you do have to be a British Vintage Wireless Society member to attend. However, if you're a first time attendee, I think they'll let you off for it just to go in and have a look around. But I strongly think of joining on the day when you go. And you can join on the day on the door. Fill in the form and off you go. Looking forward to it now, to be quite honest. It'll be a bit of crack, you know. I need to tune into this guy. I haven't a clue what you're talking about. Fireball. That's the word. Fireball. Every time it goes up. Right? So let's practice. Fireball. Simple. Good man, Rowdy. No, the word is fireball. Right? Fireball. Oh, new meaning to lens flare. Yes, indeed. Sorry, let me scroll back up the chat here because I'm sure I've missed a couple of days. Have I missed that? Yeah. What's the story with Fran? That's what I was asking. I was wondering if I missed any comments on Fran. Like you joined too. I think it's about 50 quid for 2 years membership or some such like that. Don't be lighting the shed on fire. Well, with the rain that's going on out there at the minute, I don't think it'll burn for long. Yes, things I have gotten this week. Something I was after for many years. And I've finally gotten my hands on, due to the very kind nature of a viewer of mine, and big fan, is an EHT meter of the Rank Bush Murphy variety. Serial number 255. So she's an early one, lads. So this will be covered in detail at a later date. But I believe there is a tripler out of an AA23 in this. That will come in handy. I've wanted an EHT meter for a while. Now, has the chat stopped or is she just a bit slow? Should be on, don't. Does it make a sound of a gong when you connect it? No, I don't think so. You know, it's such a shame that git with the gong got his hands on Murphy because he ruined everything. Murphy and Bush. They're such a wonderful company before that git with the gong got their hands on it. Rank. Not rank for a reason. And then there's something else which maybe we could have a squint at tonight. If you are interested. I can't hear myself think with the rain. It's unbelievable here at the minute. This is another thing we came across tonight, or the other day. Hi B4L Funny Times. Good to have you in the chat, pal. All is well here, although the rain is very heavy at the minute. I don't know if it comes through on the microphone on the camera or not, but there's only a little tin roof on this doofer. Ahoy, tis lashing. Ahoy there, B4L. You're both gonna sink. When all that rain. Do you know what this is? Well, of course you do. It's a Philips multimeter, and of course Philips made nice test equipment, and it's an SBC 851, but it's not working. No, it does not work. So we might have a squint at that. I don't know if anyone's interested in having a squint at it now or not. There is the first poll of the evening. I have a couple of polls for you this evening. We'll start at simple and work on from there. Time for interactive with OJNOJ. Close enough, you know what I mean. Ask my community. Thank you very much, B4L Funny Times. Every comment that comes with a super chat will be read out by me. Okay? So please do feel free to give me a super chat. Alright. A simple fix, unless the coil is open. Well, we will see, Mr. Mooney. We will see. I don't know. Some people, like myself, I didn't always like the old Evo 8s, I must be honest. But over the last sort of 10 years, I've kind of fallen in love with them. I used to be into more snazzier analog multimeters, like the Simpson 260, due to its nice colourly display. And of course, some lads hate these. Michael Dranfield does not like Evo 8s. He'd be far more at home with something like this, or even this. Now here's an odd one. What do you think of that, Roundy? Roundy okayed you there, but Jesus Christ, isn't that a bit harsh? That poll is like asking the Pope Catholic. Hate them. Look, hates them. Hates them. Jesus, real. I have a question for you, Michael. You know, and this is going to be something like Dogs Trust saying. How can you put a healthy puppy down? How could you hate that little face? Hello, I want to be your friend and help you fix televisions, Michael. No! This rain is getting a bit serious here. This could be, my wooden shed could end up like being Noah's Ark if it keeps raining like this. Okay, it's 100%. What was in them cocktails? Super stuff. I know, we're in good form tonight. You can have my 32-inch Sony 120 volt though. I think Trevor might be a little bit behind the times. Because I mentioned my 24-inch monitor in the shed. And do you think Trevor might be a bit behind the times, lads? You know what I should do? In the next live, I'm going to put a clock behind the wall. Maybe I'll put a clock here over my National Transport Museum 1982 calendar. So the people will know what time it is and they'll know if they're on timer. Like what Big Clive has in his background. He's a clock in his background, so you know if you're actually watching him in real time or not. I do remember you demonstrating the strength of one of them by driving a bus over it. Yes, and as you will remember, Roundy, it survived. It survived without a scratch. The 5.5 odd tons in the back of a Route Master made no scratch or mark on the Evo here at all. Whereas our cheap record player, which we also tested for cabinet strength, failed dramatically. Absolute muck. Is it a brown PM type mid-80s digital multimeter. Ah, William Phantom missed the first part there. No, William, it's this Dufertron. An SBC 851. My handy wants to know, does my kit go rusty in that shed? No, it doesn't. I have no problem with rust in the shed. The shed is 100% bone dry wooden shed. And we also run a dehumidifier in here in the winter for dehumidification and warmth purposes. So there's no trouble with rust in here at all. Wind up ding dong clock with pendulum. Don't have space for it. Even with that clock Clive had, there would still be several people way behind. There were still several people way behind the chat last night. To be fair, it's 5.5 ton was imposed on me. I'd suffer too. Yeah, but these record players should be able to tell you. I was behind. You were behind, but you're not now. So that's the main thing. Whatever. 31 viewers, 31 likes. 32 likes, 31 viewers. We're talking. The record player got everything it deserved for existing. Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. They are pure shit. The biggest problem with me was having to sweep it up after the yard when I was finished driving the bus over. Happy days. Nothing like driving a route master. Wonderful machine. So people are keen on seeing the end poll. No creative beer tonight. No creative beer tonight, Adam. I already had a few earlier on, so all aboard. 22 votes, 22 people out of 33 people. So still, that's alright, Chick Monkey. We all have to do that from time to time. No. Dehumidifier is getting expensive to run, Trevor. Right there. It's turned into an expensive hobby indeed. Remember when we thought that vintage radio and vintage electronics was a cheap hobby? You know, 9 times out of 10 you get your hobby subject matter for free off someone and what have you. There's myself looking at myself, looking really confused now. I'll do this. Hello. How long will it take for it to catch up with this now? It'll lose its mind, won't it? The focus on this camera is crap. But look, it'll lose its mind. Wait till you see this, look. Look, it won't know what to do. It's still watching me, look. Watching me, watching you. That's a bit weird now. Look, I know you're watching the camera there. That is a strange effect, isn't it? We've 35 likes yet. Look. Ooh. Right, enough of that. That's a bit silly. Anyway, now of course this is a fixed focus webcam camera. I really should try and get a better camera for this. The thing with the likes on the live is they sometimes don't update. So if you look at this to the top or whatever, click out this. It only shows 24 likes here. So it doesn't always update in real time. Now, I just noticed something else tonight. The camera is back to being the wrong way around on my screen. Last week it was right. Before that, it's always been the wrong way around. But the camera up here is actually reversed. Not that makes a whole lot of difference for me. Or you. Yeah, I think you have to drop out and come back and update the likes. So, anyway, Philips Multimeter. This camera is shit for this now, to be fair, but sure, we'll have a look. Philips Multimeter, 1985, 86, splash, mid-80s anyway, we'll say. 2 screws holding the back on, as usual. 2 nasty self-tapping screws into plastic posts, no doubt. Our friend in Australia gets very upset about them. Win, if you know who I am talking about. And here we have the current shunts here. So that's going to be 300 milliamp shunt, that one I suppose. And that one's going to be the 3 amp. Nice little meter, and it's it's got a 110 degree scale, so it's got a good wide open scale. EEV blog, of course, she is 100% right as usual. Little printed circuit board. However, all is not well in the parish with our little friend. So we want to get a couple of leads. Rarely is anything simple, as you all know. And then trying to find something is difficult too, especially in here. We could stick an ohm meter on the doofer and see does it deflect. What? You see, Roundy wants to get to the finishing post before we started. We have to make a video out of this. I don't think the movement is open circuit. I certainly hope not. Look at the size of it compared to this bloody thing. Wonderful, isn't it? I don't think the circuit's open. The coil is open circuit because watch the motion of the needle. Don't know if that camera's good enough to show, but it's not flying around. Generally, when you have a movement like this, if it's open circuit, it will whiz up and down like that. So it's not doing that. So I don't think it's open circuit. That's one thing that I always do. If I am at a radio rally, in the off chance that I happen to be at an amateur radio rally or something like that, and I see one of these doofers, I always set them to the off position and DC because that damps the movement. And you do this, and you see the way the needle is damped heavily like that. If the coil is open circuit, it will swing like a bastard backwards and forwards. And we think we can actually mimic an open circuit. We do that and that. See the way it flies around like that? Anyway. You see, with the diodes and all across them, they're generally damped. So, and it's not whizzing around the place. So, hopefully, but we'll find out. Let me just check in. And it can be damaged if you set it to the wrong range and transport it, yes? It could do. If the old Avo gets a massive shock, yeah, you could damage them, yeah. It's best practice to have them damped. And with the older ones didn't have that setting, so what they suggested you do in the manual was to put a link of wire between the terminals and set them for the lowest range, the 50 microamp range, and that would short out the coil. And the movements themselves could be bought separately, and they had a short link across them as well. So, 36 likes, 30 viewing, including at least 5. Wonder what they have done with their lives. Yeah, Dave gets upset about any multimeter under 500 Aussie bucks he does. Yes. Oh yeah, no. Every day's a school day. Right. We'll go for ohms. Of course, we'll probably get a reading somewhere along here anyway, across something. 6k. 6k? Oh no. Could she be open circuit? Could all our fun have ended before we start? I think all our fun has ended before we started. No, it hasn't. No, it's deflecting. That's the other thing you have to look for. Is if we do this. Oh! She good to go. The movement is intact. We are still in the game, boys and girls. The movement is still intact. Which is good. So. What's the next thing to do? We could put 2 batteries in it and see does it read on the ohms range. That wouldn't be an expensive or difficult thing to do. We have a couple of batteries left in this doofer. Well, I don't know if anyone is around here long enough to remember me doing a video on this. A little 2-inch flat-faced CRT television. A radio combo. It even has shortwave on it and all. It's a nice little thing, that. We had a barbecue at the house here a couple of years ago. And I wanted to play music around the place, but I didn't want it loud, really loud from a central point. So I set up the FM pantry transmitter. And I had a load of these, little transistor radios dotted all around the garden, playing music nice and low. Worked out really well. So there was just a low ambient music all around the garden. I hate this loud music from a central point. So I think it 5 or 6 radios, and of course it was a way of showing off a bit of the collection as well. Which of course always goes down well. Let's see if these batteries are any good. 1.5 volts. 1.5 volts. Yes. Now I did try my little voltage reference over here. When I got it, and I read nothing. But we'll see what it read on the ohms range. Get in there, you get. Ohms. Oh, it's doing something there, look. I'm reading half scale on the by 10 range. I'm reading half scale there. Oh wait, hold on. There we go. I wonder if this does the noisy switch or something then. So there it is, it's zeroing out okay there. Now the first one was because I had it set to AC and ohms. So obviously it was going through the bridge. Let me catch up with the chat here as well, because I'm looking away from the chat. And I don't want to be ignorant here to you either, lads. Judy good enough. Hello, Judy. Thanks very much for tuning in. Sorry I didn't see you there. I was being distracted by a multimeter, as your good husband, I'm sure you'll understand. With those self-tapping screws, if the thread strips, you can cut down the pillars and insert a standoff from a motherboard with super glue and use machine screws to hold the back on. And that sounds like a far better idea. I seen the little multimeters the other day, Roundy. I think they're very slow to update. They are auto ranging, but they're very slow. Well, I'm not going to be buying one. I have more multimeters than sense. In fact, I'm thinking of selling a few of them off. because I've way too many. I have this, I have that, and a few other tasty ones. The other one being the 83 Mark III, which is a tasty machine in its own right. But I mean, like, this is the be all and end all for me. You'd never get better than that. It even is approved by Dave Jones on EEV. So what more can you say? My colleague told me it was unprofessional for a qualified electrician to use a little or any multimeter. But when you're just belling stuff out on a first fix, you don't want to be using a fluke. Not only that, I would say that someone like yourself, Chipmunk, has the knowledge to know the difference when it's safe to use a machine like that and when it's not. So yeah, no, I wouldn't say it's unprofessional. There's a chap on the UK Vintage Radio Forum who commissions large power transformers and three-phase and all this kind of stuff, but he collects Avos as well. And he uses Avo 40s for all his work. And he'd say, he'd have 3 Avo 40s hooked up to the 3 phases and all this, checking the balance. And he gets them calibrated as well. Which is, he gets a lot of funny looks, but I mean, they can't argue with him when the sticker's on the side of them. Unity, I'm not a big fan of Unity at all, although I do have John's Unity. I made the mistake of buying a Unity UT60A out of Mappin when I had a Fluke 110 before that and it gave up the ghost. And I seen a Unity and all multimeters are the same and I bought it, and it was a pile of shite. I actually gave it away at a BVWS meeting, or at the MVCF I should say. But this was John's Unity. It's a UT70D. And I must say, it's a very good meter. So, and John used that in the shop. He had it for about 15 years in the shop. And it got used every day. And it still works. It has had to come apart a couple of times to have the selector switch cleaned. It started to lose its marbles a couple of times. But no, it's a very good meter. So I wouldn't say all Unity stuff is muck. Just most of it. I have Avos for home bench use, Unity meters for general on-site use. They're genuine Cat 3. Yeah. Yeah, that Unity 70 there, that has proper HRC fuses. Proper. It's a proper doover. I see here. The clamp meters are not good. Ooh. Yeah, I like the idea of getting a DC clamp meter or like for automotive use. Come in handy for stuff. By TIS. Haven't heard of them. Well, Jerry, I agree with that. I think people get carried away with accuracy. When you're measuring the mains in the house, if it's 240 or 2 for 1.5 or whatever, it's not really going to make much of a difference, is it? Anyway, this thing is running away here at full scale while I'm talking nonsense. But she's well able to make full scale on the 0. The one good thing about the Avo, though, I will say, and you don't see it on other I haven't seen it on another multimeter actually. What's the thing you notice about the ohms range on the Avo 8? There's 3 separate 0 pots. So once you set them, they're set. When you move in between ranges on ohms, you don't have to go fecking around with them again. They're boxed off. Whereas this, if I move off this range to the next range, you probably require it to be zeroed again, and every time you want to go, yeah, zero again, and then that'll need to be zeroed again. So that's not ideal. Alright, so it is working. Maybe I was making a fool of myself, but we'll try it with the little voltage standard. Turn that off. And we'll see, does she read okay with it? Oh yeah, I should have. Well, it's reading resistors in the. Meter. Right, let's go down to what we are on the 30 volt scale, so that's a good start. Light is on. Nothing. So she's not reading volts. So you can't even see that with the light here. It's a terrible camera. I do apologise. Anyway, she's not reading volts at all. It's not an noisy switch. Let's go down another range. No movement. No movement. Down to 3 volts, naughty. Still no movement. So what's going on here? There's an open circuit resistor here somewhere, is there? Or a broken print. It's working on the ohms range okay. But it's not working on the voltage range. So what we can do is we could leave this connected. A diagram would be a little bit handy, to be fair. No volts, you have a can of Super 10 just a foot away. I do. But even scraping the switch backwards and forwards, you'd expect to see at least a flick, wouldn't you? Pokes YouTube. Yeah, you'd imagine a flicker or something, wouldn't you? Yeah. New range of fluke clamp meters out now. I know because I got in 20 of them the other day. They look good. Good man, Roundy. Anyone wants to know? By the way, Roundy is running a competition at the minute on behalf of the channel. Where he will send you a fluke clamp meter. Apparently he's got 20 to give away. So we're looking forward to them. The cheap Annings are good. I had one of those, Trevor, and I was very impressed with it. I actually gave it to another radio do for a fella here in Ireland, but I was impressed with it, and I get another one too. The slightly bigger ones look good. I was quite impressed indeed. Found the cap range on it very good. An MPL7 test lamp for voltage checks. A zero setting was great. Yeah, it certainly is. Do you have to zero the clamp in DC before measuring? I have a no-name clamp here to measure DCs. EV does a review. Disney does. Crack solder joint, maybe. Not sure if EV's review was entirely unbiased. Possibly not. Also, I'm sure there's some sort of there could be a little bit of financial interest there as well. You wouldn't know. Is the electricity getting up here first? It is. And we're on the 5 volt setting, and it's 4.99, blah blah blah. And we're obviously not getting nothing here at the business end. No. So between there and there, it's getting lost somewhere. And it's hard to tell without taking it out and having a look at the other side of the board, isn't it? Let's see, the ohms pad will have to come off first. Come on, you little git. It doesn't want to live. I think it's been made to want to die. I have to get the arms knob off. To get the board up, I'm sure. But it doesn't want to push through from its little pot. We're working on a multimeter. Well, we're having a look at a multimeter. We could just put it down at any second and walk away from it now because we're not failing it. That is odd. We don't want to force anything here, and we don't want to break anything, obviously. Oh, the really cheap multimeters that your man Dave hates. Yeah, they're handy enough actually. One thing I'll say about them, they've got great contrast on the displays. We had one here years ago. Well, not here before I came here, but I used it all the time. I eventually wore it out, but they're okay for what they are. Yes, making them accurate is easy. It is. It is the making them safe. But are we making them safer? Or are we just engineering out the dangers for the people who don't know how to use them? Oh, said OJNOJ as he kicked the beehive. Now, a multimeter like this probably wasn't made to be serviced in the first place. The ladder. Oh, yes. Night, Johnny. Night, Johnny. Thanks for tuning in, Johnny, by the way. I know this isn't the most stimulating of broadcasts, but it was good to have you here. It is getting a bit late too. It's after 11 o'clock. But yeah, that doesn't come out unless I get that knob off. And that knob doesn't want to come off. Now, I don't want to force him pushing it through, but I think I might have to. That's not ideal. No, that's not coming off. I'm going to have to sit down and think about this one. See that 0 ohms knob needs to come off to allow the board to come up. To push through this, it's one of these push through pots. Sorry. It won't push through. It must be locked in place. I think I'm going to leave this for now actually, because I know what's going to end up happening if I keep going at it here like this. I'm going to end up breaking it, aren't I? Suppose what I could do though is I could check all the resistors and maybe one of them is open circuit. The thing is, there isn't even anything to get a hold of. It doesn't stick up that proud. And as far as I'm concerned, these have always been just a straight slot. Any of the ones I've seen, so I don't know. It could be glued in place. I don't want to force it. I could just run the fluke over it with the on the arms range. Just check every resistor, and maybe one of the resistors will be open. Does that sound like an idea? The Crackle is in the chat. Good evening, the Crackle. Good to have you aboard. We're fluting around here with a Philips multimeter, but I'm just making a fool of myself as usual. Of course, the problem with the live is I can't edit it to my own satisfaction. Everything works out here to 100% all the time. Yes, yes, yes. I'll put the screws back in because if I don't, I know I'll lose them. It's a well-made multimeter, but to be fair, I don't think it was made with servicing in mind. It was probably the kind of thing, that cost £10, and they probably gave them away to Philips dealerships as well. If you bought 10 G11s, you probably got one of these for free. Actually, I doubt Philips actually made this. It doesn't really look very Philips inside, does it? I'd say this was made in the Far East for Philips. More so than by Philips. KK mount scope meter, not a great buy. The meter is okay, the scope works, but sensitivity is only 0.5 volt per division on the little screen. That's not much, no. That'd be a lot of squinting. The Crackle reckons she looks like Hanson. Hanson is a brand I've heard of, but not come across. How would your company deal with a vintage 1980s Claire? Pat Tester. Michael Dranfield has a few Hanson meters. Of course, Mr. Dranfield has no time for Avo. Not the Avo 8 anyway. And you know what, maybe you're right, Michael. Let's go across this one. I think this works anyway. This is the... this one's across the... go down. Take the battery out as well, so we don't know that going on. 2.2 meg, 100%. Looks like a sensible figure. They're all these bloody 6-band resistors. So I sort of look at the resistor and the colours and I sort of think, yeah, well, that looks about that. That starts with a 3 or a 2. So that can't be too far off. No, yeah. They're not working their open circuit. Even if they were very high, you'd still imagine a flicker. .98 meg. Ooh. I think if we figured out how to get the bar out of the meter, I think we'd be onto a far better chance. There's none of these open circuit anyway. By the look of it. Of course, the other thing we could do, which is a bit naughty, but we could put it onto its highest current range and see does it read out. We have this 1.5 volt battery here. It'll be interesting to see does it read on the current range. So our problem is related to not only current or not only voltage readings but also current readings. I think I'll put this one away for now, unfortunately. It was said today at the dinner, look at your YouTube channel, but you don't ever fix that. And unfortunately, I'm going to prove them right tonight. I'll think about it, but I want to figure out how to get that ohms pot off so I can take the board out so I can actually trace around things, see where the switch sits and what have you. To be fair, that's not a great multimeter. Even the feel on the switch and all is cat. Anyway, that's the SBC 851. At least I can use it as an ohms meter if nothing else. Not that we're short on multimeters anyway. We certainly are not. I must get this little television working again too. I'm sure everyone would love to see this. What's it called? It's called a Brook Sonic. FM shortwave, medium wave radio, VHF, UHF, all channel micro television, CIRT, and she covers she must do 525 line as well because it says US on the side. But interesting. Tilt that up a bit. It is hard to be working on stuff like that, looking at stuff. It's one of the things I keep doing with this. I keep leaving it switched on. It's hard to be doing something and minding the chat at the same time. It's not simple. So let's see where we are with the chat. Look, I'm not saying we should kill people, just that we should take the warning labels off, yeah. It's all geared up for these arseholes now, isn't it? It's terrible, really, the way the world has gone. Pocket Multimeter, Unity, and Auto. All one. Handy because they're small. Possibly a blow and trace or gammy switch. Yeah, possibly. We'll need to get the board out of the meter to figure it out. But I don't want to go messing around with that ohms pot right now because I know it'll end in tears. So I'll need to take my time and think about getting that out of there without doing damage. Then I can get the board out and have a proper look at the traces, the tracks, and the switches, and then I'll be able to see where the switch is and where things are going. Joe King is off the bed. Joe, good night and thanks for tuning in. It was nice to have you aboard, and we hope to catch you again the next one soon. Thanks very much. Blown trace or a crack saw or joint, I think it could very well be alright. Something silly, but the fact that it's the other way around usually. Usually the ohms range doesn't work because someone has tried to measure the resistance of a car battery or something, and the voltage ranges work. It's a bit odd that the voltage ranges don't work and the ohms range do work. It's kind of backwards, that, isn't it? That's a good idea, Chipmunk. I'll do that now, actually. We will try that. I have a feeling it could be glued in, actually. I do. And that's why I want us push out. Because obviously, if it's just a push shaft, I mean, it's going to come out very handy in service. Yeah, one of the doofers is gone here on this. One of the posts. The threads is gone on the screw. Super 10. Where's the Super 10 gone? I'll use Super 10 because that's what we were discussing. Yeah, alright. We'll leave her like that for a few days and we'll come back and we'll see what the crack is then. Right, lads, I'm going to get myself another drink of water and I'll be back in a minute. But of course, I can't do that without leaving you for something for entertainment. I don't like leaving you on your own here, to your own devices, without some sort of entertainment, obviously. You know, I think the last day I was at this suitcase radio, we had stopped working again for some reason. This is the one with the volume pot that needs attention anyway, but let's see will it work tonight. No, there's problems there with that one too. See, that's the problem with collecting all this vintage stuff. Not only when you get it going, you think that's you finished, but then they still run into problems down the road anyway. It's not over till the fat out one sings. Entertainment for my fans. I know a lot of people are keen on these old Sony radios. And these days it's all taken on. Tell you one thing, the Sony doesn't like technology. Extra long area. And of course, we can leave you with the musical stylings of The Fence. I really shouldn't. Alright lads, we're back. Glass of water or crate of beer. Vote now. Go bad, Michael. No, we're only on the water tonight. No, I'm a bit tired now. I'm not really in the humor of the beer. I only have one can of Tennent's left in the gaff. That or Strongbow cider. We know what happens when I drink that. Welcome aboard, Marcus. Oh, I'm not going to run this much longer, lads, because I am a bit tired tonight, but we'll see how we go on for another few minutes. Like Dave Tipton fixing the French radio. All he could get was French music until he flicked a switch. Yeah, stuff costing thousands probably should not be dropped. Lovely stuff. Alright, just reading the comments there. No, all is going well. We're doing alright, lads. So, it's time for another poll. We're keen on polls here, as you know, because they work out quite well. I think I'll leave that China music on because I quite kind of like listening to it in the background. Now here's something, like there's a Sony radio, nothing special, right? How come that doesn't drift? And that bloody Eddystone EC10 would drift about 10 kilohertz. And the Yaesu, the 9R, whatever you call it, bloody thing drifts like a ship on the wind, on the sea. Now, something I've been thinking about lately, lads, so I wanted to give you a ballpark idea on this, right? In the next poll, which is following. The old wireless keyboard and mouse is the greatest thing they ever invented. Right, here we go. Poll is live. Maybe it did drift a little bit. Something I've been thinking about, because, you know, OJNOJ, a lot of people look at OJNOJ because the car thing here is Irish Vintage TV and Radio. OJNOJ, people go, OJNOJ, what's OJNOJ mean? It's lost on a lot of people. It's just my name backwards. So, it's a bit confusing. I think it was just maybe simply Irish Vintage TV and Radio. It might be a little bit more streamlined. It might make it easier for people to find. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking shit. That's why I'm putting it out to you. Needless to say, nothing's going to happen too quickly, one way or the other. And of course, the OJNOJ would always be locked into the URL. I have the custom URL, so you know it's YouTube/OJNOJ Irish TV Radio //HTTP or whatever you call it. So that'll never change because they only give you one of those. So your plane taking, going overhead. Maybe, if you wish, Irish Vintage TV and Radio. OJNOJ. Perhaps. I don't know. Do what Manuel did. Put OJNOJ in the bio. Well, what did he do? He obviously changed his name or something, did he? because he was Manuel blah. Restore radios or radios old and new or some nonsense like that. Well, very good, Dave. Welcome aboard, by the way, Dave. I don't know. To be honest, I'll probably never change it, but you know, it's hard to know what way to go with these things sometimes, you know. As the channel is growing slowly edging forward. Jesus, it's a hard grind, lads. I thought I would have got on further than this by now. Sometimes when I look at it, I think, Jesus, this is amazing how quick it's going. And then other days I look at it and go, Jesus, it's very slow. You may realise that they play the same songs on this over and over. So I'm starting to get to know all these songs by heart. Bang, 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 bang. Wonderful stuff, though. Oh, that's odd. I'd 40 thumbs up, and now I've only 39 thumbs up. Someone was obviously trying to hit the thumbs down button and accidentally and possibly hit the thumbs up button. Sure, it's all on. Just revert back to Jojo. Too hard, Mr. Conway. Too hard. 40 likes. Bye! 41. Jesus. Vintage Electronics Repair. Andy. Good to have you in the chat, Andy. You know, it's quite interesting the amount of people we have slide in and out here from time to time. So we Trev earlier on. I don't know, Andy, if you've ever seen Trev's YouTube channel, but Trev would be a good friend of Steve's through the old vintage radio and television fraternity. But if you just type Trev into your YouTube too, you should come across him. He does a lot of 405 line stuff and that, but he also makes odd things with Russian rod pentodes and that. Interesting channel. Very small channel, but very interesting. Good to have you on board, Andy, anyway. I will hope to see you this day 2 weeks, as I will be heading over to the Goblin. Leslie, welcome into the chat, Leslie. I do apologise if missing anyone in the chat as well. You know how it is here. Some people get really upset when I don't mention them, but it's never on purpose. I'll mention you even if I don't like you. Nice to have you on board, Leslie, as well. Even I used to build radios and shoeboxes when I was young lad and discovered amateur radio. It went on from there, yeah, and then it goes nuts and nuts and nuts and nuts. Jenny tells me that I get new channels like this one from personal recommendations, never from YouTube. So it just goes to show that YouTube isn't doing me any favours, although I sort of suspected as much. Let's not get into politics. Funny, YouTube never suggested your channel to me in all the years watching similar channels. Blame Dennis for putting the link on Clive's Discord. So it was Big Clive's Discord that this is where all the people came from. I see. I'll try looking at Discord, but I couldn't get my head around it, to be quite honest. Yeah, YouTube never makes sense to me. No, it isn't OJNOJ. No, it obviously isn't doing me any favours, really, on the grand scheme of things. Because you watch some channels that start last week and they've got 1 million subscribers. And some of them are just, you know, what I do like is the fake electronics videos or whatever, and they seem to blow up. Or these restoration channels where they, what do these restoration channels do? They'll get something like, let's see if I have it here. I don't know where I put it, so I can't show you. But let's say they'll get something like this adjustable spanner wrench doofer, you know, and it's been sitting in a field all rusty, and they bring it up to a wire wheel and they clean it all up on the wire wheel and they get the thing freed out again. And this is a big mad restoration. And a video like that will get 2 or 3 million views. I can't wrap my head around that at all. It just makes no sense. And even the fake TV restoration videos where, your man's going along the motorbike in Malaysia or somewhere. Oh, television, and then he sprays water on it, rubs a wire brush on it, and then it's brand new at the end of it. Makes no sense at all. Bro, madam, yes, Trevor really knows his stuff. He sure does. 42 now, 42 likes now, yeah. That's what I love, 24 people watching, 42 likes. It makes no sense. But obviously people come in and out through the night because they want to go to bed and stuff. Okay, I'm going to end that poll, by the way. Just, let's see what the results were. 19 votes, 68% no, 31% yes. So, love videos, John, reminds me of the TV trade days. Thank you, Leslie. Very kind. Very kind. I think they film those fake restoration videos in reverse. Yes, they do, Crackle. Yes, they do. Or the Vietnamese boys will pull stuff out of the ditch and then randomly stick a meter on it. Yeah. No, it's unbelievable how these fake restoration channels, how they're able to get going. Unbelievable. Roundy Mooney, the one who... Chipmunk says the ones who run a 3 horsepower water pump from 4 AA batteries. Oh, yes. Yes, I've seen that stuff, alright. That's pretty snazzy. And of course, you see the fake flashlight advertisements on AliExpress. There was one picture there a while ago where you could clearly, your man's holding a little tiny LED flashlight like this, and there's a big beam coming out of it. But you could clearly see in one of the pictures that there was like a 3-cord lead, mains lead coming down in the shadow, Notice that all the bits are near a hand, also covered in dried mud. The guy using the meter is a howl altogether. Yeah, they're great. Well, I mean, they're making an awful lot of money off YouTube doing this. This is the sad thing about this. These lads are making a lot of money doing this. Or a rusty nail stuck in the ground. They're off the head. Michael Dranfield has a beanie's bonnet about AliExpress. Now, myself and Michael will probably be at a difference here because I buy a lot of stuff off AliExpress and I haven't found much problem. Now, I'm not buying power transistors or amplifier chips or anything like that, so I'm probably getting away with it for the most part. But the likes of all these 0.1 capacitors here, I bought all of them on AliExpress at a reasonable price. These high voltage brown ones of the type, bought all them. Most of this has been stocked from AliExpress over the years. The 0.01s especially, the brown ones. And I have to say, Michael, I have never had any issues with any of the caps that I've bought, any of them low voltage ones, and even the electrolytics. Would I stick them in a switch mode power supply? No, I probably would not. But for vintage radio and television use, I've had no issue with them at all. And these caps, I mean, I've wound them up, say even the 400 volt ones. I've stuck them on the old Mega and wound them up over 1,000 volts, and they don't break down. So that's my experience of AliExpress. So I can't fall out with them too much for that kind of thing. I'd be interested to know what your comments are on it, but overall I find them pretty good for stuff like that. I've also bought other stuff off AliExpress as well over the years. Electronics kits and stuff like that. Also, I bought 2 of these Flute 12E digital multimeters, which I have to say for the money are excellent. And just look at that backlight and clear contrast display. At the time, now we're going back about 8 years ago or so, they were about €60. I bought one for myself and one for John at the TV shop. And they've been very good. They've been very good. I don't use it that often now. It's a little bit slow on the auto range, but when I say a little bit slow, it still streaks ahead of a lot of stuff, but I have the better meters here, so they don't take. But if you need a clear display in the dark, sure, nothing's gonna touch it. So I can't. I won't knock them. You just kind of have to be careful and watch. It was 60. It was not 6 roundy. Jesus, would I be buying them for 6? Lads, probably using an LED lens or in the pictures, probably. I've got a really good one here that a friend of mine bought me on Amazon. It was half price. It's called, bugger, what's it called? I was only playing with it earlier on here. Big flashlight. Nebo. Jenny BVR got a cheapo torch, similar size on Amazon for a tenner. High beam goes at least 100 yards and the battery lasts. I haven't recharged it yet. Would it be worth bringing it to Goblin? If I brought it to Goblin, I mightn't come home. Nah, I won't bring it to Goblin, no. But I'll have a few chats. I'll have a chat with a few lads I know that'll be there that will know one way or the other. Is Vintage Electronics Repair still in the chat? I should have also said, by the way, that anyone interested in CB repair, record player repair, or vintage radio repair in particular, should check out Vintage Electronics Repair. He makes some very detailed videos on repair of such items. So give him a check out. I have an LED lens or torch on my keyring, and any time I use it, most people are like, Dave, what the fuck is that? Well, it's obviously good, so let's go back up the chat a bit. Chipmunk. You don't want the creator's feelings hurt, even though they can see the dislike count. I've got a bit of a beam bonnet about this dislike count thing, alright, because they can still see it anyway. Yeah, that's quite right. Because you could always spot a bad video straight. Say if you were looking up a video for how to do something, and someone was after putting up a total nonsense video. I mean, you could look on there and you'd see straight away, it has 100 likes and 4,000 dislikes. This video isn't worth looking at. And then they went and did away with the dislike button, which is total bloody nonsense in my opinion. I was quite proud of the fact that most of the time I didn't get any dislikes in my videos. The odd one you do, someone disgruntled, or it's a crap video. I can't say that all my videos are very good, most of them are shit. But that dislike count meant a lot to me, that you'd click on a video and there's 40 or 50 likes and 0 dislikes, which I thought was pretty good. And they went and did away with that. But it does make it a little bit harder to weed out the shit videos from the good videos. Yeah, so no, that wasn't great. But the free energy machines that can run a house from an electric drill, a washing machine motor, 2 magnets and a single AA. Now, I love the ones where, your man has, he has an alternator and a motor, and he plugs it in, it starts going on woo, and then he plugs it out, and it keeps on woo, doesn't even slow down or anything, woo, and that's it, and then he starts plugging in lights and welders and all sorts to it. I don't think free energy is a thing. No matter how much Dr. Stephen Greer would like to think it is. Has anyone ever heard of him? Go on, Ning! If we didn't know any better, I'd say Jimi Hendrix used to listen to this stuff when he was a kid. Great stuff. Jim Gordon's in the chat. Graham Stevens, aka the Radio Cruncher. Yes, I've seen him. Has a good vintage radio repair channel on YouTube. He does. He did a great job on my ailing Sony 2001D and Panasonic RF B45 radios. Good man, Jim. Welcome into the show. But we'll get there in the end. I have so much stuff though that I need to go through and get rid of. I think I'll be bringing a bit of stuff to Goblin with me to get rid of this year. Definitely will be. Because some stuff just has to go. I'm looking around me here at piles of stuff, and I wouldn't mind. I'm after getting rid of van loads of stuff in the last couple of months. Just, because you end up with all this gear, and you end up with a lot of nonsense that you'll never get around to, and then you get stuff that you just for parts, but you never get around to scrapping the parts out. So that's what I've been doing a lot of lately, is stuff that's beyond repair, scrapping bits and pieces out of them, output transformers, mains transformers, valve holders, and sorting them out, because it just makes a bit more space. But overall, we seem to be on the win. Also trying to sort out my HF area. It's not working very well. I have set up the JRC JST 100 here in a temporary sort of fashion in the station here, the corner. I can get it to load up on 80 meters alright. Won't load up on 40. It'll load up on 14. But I want to work on the area. It's not a great setup, I'm using 300 ohm ladder line, but I don't think it's good enough. I want to make 450. 6-inch space ladder line, which I think will work out far better. It should make it less. The tuning up less critical as well, I think. But that's something that I'm going to be at. At the moment, Australian PM Albanese discussing about the rains and floods across the country. His outline: electrical shop damaged. I know you can buy it from amateur radio shops, alright. Yeah, no, there's a shop here in Ireland, up the north. What's this they're called? Oh, what are they called? Longs Communication. I think they're in Donegal, and they will sell you anything you want in that line. And they're reasonable enough too. But making up ladder line, you do it yourself. It's not difficult. All you need to do is make a few spacers out of plastic and run the wire up through them, so it doesn't move. It's not difficult. So you have one spacer every foot or so. So if you get a flat piece of perspex and drill a couple of holes in it, run it in and out up to the top, it works out quite well. George Donaldson actually did a lovely video years and years ago on it, and I was down at his place and I seen it, and it works very, very well. There were little spacers he got out of work that were used for packing things. You made hundreds of them, but it worked out very well. The Crackle says a HF aerial is his next project. Good man. Good man. See, now they're gone now. Coming up to 12 o'clock. Music does stops. They don't even have the decency to say, we are going to bed or whatever. Just knock it off. Terrible, isn't it? You know, shortwave never ceases to amaze me, though. You know, that's coming all the way from China. There's been quite an awful lot of interesting stuff on the old shortwave. It's amazing. Did I see little selling DAB Plus radios, even though there's no feck all to get on them? I did. Not only that, did you see the little screen that was on the front of them? And the fact that they took 4 AA batteries. They had a little LCD or an OLED screen on them that would display the station icon and all that. They did FM as well now, to be fair. But they took 4 AA batteries, which will probably last about 10 seconds. Clowns. I didn't buy one, needless to say. They might come in cheap at some stage. If they were a £5 or less, I might have bought one. But I wasn't throwing my money away because I knew it would be a waste of time. Chipmunk used big ballpoint pens. Oh, there's an idea. There's Alex Jones. That's who that is talking. Of course, what is it, €1 billion or something he's being sued for now? Or $1 billion, should I say? He really made a bit of a mess of himself. Roundy, will you look after that? Yeah, we are, Michael, no bother. I added 20mm discs of perspex to make them look like real insulators. Didn't do any good, but looked impressive. Yeah, Brum, Adam, there is a lot of interesting noises coming on shortwave, alright. Sort of between 3 and 6.5 megahertz. You wouldn't know what you'd hear. Yeah, he got a bit carried away with himself. You know, years ago he used to think, oh, this fella kind of makes a bit of sense. Some of the stuff that he's saying, but now then he just went totally off. Totally bonkers, you know. And then, you know, Joe Rogan was entertaining him as well. Well, I think everyone should have a voice. But I think people should be able to make up their own opinion. But interesting. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it, Jerry, the way the world has become so small. I wouldn't, Michael, because I'll have to leave you and drive somewhere else after our meeting. I've got a further distance to go after I see you. He saw a market for it. Not bonkers at all. All it's methodical. Oh yeah, no, he's no clown. I know that, Roundy. He is no clown. If you took him for a fool, you'd be a silly man. There we are. I think I'm gonna knock a call at night, lads. It's 12 o'clock. I'm a bit tired of a long old day. So I'd say I'll see you next Sunday. Multi-level board bat. I like the sound of that actually. Yeah. I'd say it's bloody heavy though. Yeah, we're gonna call it a night. I'm going in. I'm tired. It's getting bloody cold this shed. I'll do my best to get a video out during the week on something, even if it's still short. So I do need to be putting out the old video content. It's starting to damage the old channel progression because I'm not putting that out lately. Yeah, you want to have a fairly steady base for that board bat, alright? Wouldn't blow over in the wind though. Good foundation for it. Feed the beast. I'd never be a slave to it anyway. I'd be mad if I was. It's been an interesting one, lads. And we'll catch you again the next one soon, alright? I'll definitely be out here next Sunday because obviously the following Sunday I'll be in the Goblin and you won't be seeing me because I'll be on a boat at this time, I think. No. Yeah, no, I'll still be on the boat. I think you get in around 1 o'clock next Sunday week. Right, we'll see you then. Thanks very much for tuning in. We hope the week is good yet. Where do I push the off button? Oh yeah, the big red button. Right, lads, good night and God bless. Next week we'll be here again. Thanks, Chipmunk. Thanks, Roundy. Thanks, Jerry. Thanks, Kev. Thanks, Crackle. Thanks, Michael. And special thanks to Roundy and White Sapphire, of course. I can't miss you. And a special thanks to Roundy Mooney for being the man with the spanner. Both have Wi-Fi now, yeah, but I don't have stamina. I'll probably be asleep. Good luck, lads.